Hello?
Hi, Robbie Peralta.
Yeah, this is him.
Hi, this is Steve Jewin from MMA Mania. How are you doing today?
Good, good. How you doing?
I'm doing really good, and hey, I'm glad to talk to you because you got a big fight coming up on World Series of Fighting, but before that, I want to know, it's been a little while since we've seen you in action. Last time was UFC Fight Night back in April, so how have things been going from then to now?
Everything's been good. Just been, took a little break off, let my body rest up, heal up, and, just trying to get back into the gym and stay focused. Just take care of things, outside of the gym. So that's what I did, when I had that time off. So, but now I'm back on it, back on the grind, ready to get in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Ready to get in the grind in World Series Fighting. A new home, a new venue, a new opportunity for you. So how are you feeling about this fight that you got coming up with Shaman Moraes?
I feel good about it. I think it's a good matchup. I think it's a good first fight for me to, World Series of Fighting. And, I'm looking forward to it and excited about it.
It's a pretty big leap right in because Shaman was formerly a title contender. So you're fighting a guy who was at the top of the list right off the bat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, yeah, he's fought for the title for the 135. So I know he's not no slouch, and he's coming to win. He's only had one loss in his career, and that was for the title with the 135 champ. So I know he's looking to get back on the winning side too.
Well, you're both looking to get in the winning ways, but let me ask, what's changed since the fight with Clay Guida? Have you made any big adjustments in camp?
Just been trying to brush up on my wrestling. I know that's one of my weaknesses. I know a lot of people that, that's what they look at. I mean, trying to see my weakness, and I know, my wrestling is not the best, so I've been working a lot more on that, and, just trying to up my game on that. Work on my stand-up as well.
Well, the stand-up's already pretty good. You're known for the punching power. 13 knockouts and 18 wins says that people don't want to trade hands with you if they can help it.
Yeah, no, yeah. So I'm hoping, since this guy's, your stand-up guy, I'm hoping he wants to keep it on the feet, give the crowd an exciting fight. So that's what I want to do. I want to give the people good, exciting fight, people something to talk about. So I mean, a lot of guys have been facing, they've been trying to play safe and just take them to the ground and just, that's it, going that way, but.
Hopefully it stays standing up then and we get an exciting fight.
Yeah.
But you said you've been training, getting your wrestling together, so if it does go to the ground, I'm sure you'll be ready for that too.
Yeah, definitely will. I'm definitely ready to get it back up, get the fight back up to where I want it to be at on the feet. So that's my main goal, is to keep it standing and to not let it get me down. If it does go to the ground, I'm ready for it and for it all around.
Yeah, I'm just curious, did you get the nickname Problems because you give people problems with your hands?
Yep, exactly, yeah. You don't want the problems with the hands, so that always can take me down.
Was that something that you came up with on your own, or did somebody in your team give that to you when you were coming up as a fighter?
It just came up as, coming up as a fighter. My coaches and stuff.
And it does kind of roll off the tongue too, Problems Peralta. It sort of alliterates itself naturally.
Yeah, it does. It was just saying, like, when it came out, and I was like, yeah, that'll fit.
You look at your stint in UFC, you had some good wins, some big wins, and then at the end, things didn't quite go your way and you got cut. But a lot of guys don't get cut off 2 losses. So what do you think was going on there? Did they just have too many people in the division at the time?
Yeah, I believe so. Because that 145 division is stacked and got so many people just, in the division, and it's once you get 2 losses, I believe, just on the chopping block, and got so many guys just ready to come in, and so I believe that was a big part of it.
But you'd had a pretty good stint in Zufone Promotions up to that point. I mean, you'd been in one way or another, whether it was Strikeforce UFC, you'd been in that fold since 2011, so it had to feel a little unexpected. You had to feel like kind of a veteran guy there by that point.
Yeah, I definitely did. I was kind of in shock about it when I heard about it, because I still had one fight left on my contract, so I thought they'd at least let me fight out my contract. So it was kind of unexpected, but at the same time, the division's so stacked, and it's like I lost 2 in a row. I kind of felt like I was on the chopping block too, but I thought they'd at least give me that one more chance to prove myself and come back.
Yeah, I did as well. So I was as surprised as you were when you got cut. But hey, their loss is World Series of Fighting's gain. So now they can.
Yeah, exactly.
Go ahead.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to making World Series of Fighting my new home, and looking to make a run at that title.
I've talked to some fighters who said it's kind of a blessing in disguise when they got cut from UFC this year, because with the Reebok deal and the way the sponsorships work now, you can actually make more money if you got the right sponsorships lined up outside of UFC.
Yeah, that's another thing too. Yeah, that's another deal with the whole Reebok deal and people losing sponsors. So I think that might have had something to do with me being cut. So I'm not sure exactly, but but yeah, it's actually kind of blessing in disguise. Like now I could still pick up sponsors and get support from local businesses around and get the extra cash that I need.
And I haven't seen World Series Fighting tell anybody, hey, don't put that on your shorts or don't hang a banner in the Decagon. They seem to be pretty freewheeling with it and let the fighters do what they need to do to make a living.
Yeah, definitely. Because those sponsors, they come in handy when we need to train and we need that money to train. Like, it comes in handy when fighters, we need it, because that's what we live off of, is sponsors, and especially for the full-time fighters. I'm a part-time fighter because I work full-time, a regular job, and I train part-time. So I'm lucky to have my full-time job as a backup, but for some fighters, that's all they have. And when they took away the sponsor, I know that was a big deal.
I'm glad you brought up the part-time job or full-time job and part-time fighting, actually, because I've asked many fighters this over the years, and I always wonder, with medical expenses and paying for training and eating the proper nutrition to be in shape for a fight, it's very hard to come out ahead. And it sounds to me like your system is work full-time, train part-time, and that's how you can come out on the plus side. Yeah,
definitely. That's what I've been doing this whole time. Ever since I got into UFC fight, I've been working a full-time job and I train part-time, and a lot of the guys I'm going up against, they're full-time fighters. So, but I mean, I need something that's guaranteed, and I need to make sure, I have something set and something to fall back on, and, for myself and for my daughter. So I gotta make sure I have those benefits and everything for that.
But do you ever worry that may be giving up a competitive edge then when you have to go to the 9-to-5 grind, and other guys, their fighting is their 9-to-5?
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, that's all they get to do. They train full time, and they might have a little bit of edge, but at the same time, this is what I do. Like I'm a fighter, and I find ways to win. And to me, it doesn't matter as long as I get my hours in the gym and make the best of it when I'm there.
Right. Yeah, you dedicate yourself 110% when you do have that time, and then it pays dividends when you do get the fight.
Yeah, definitely.
So I'm guessing the full-time job is probably a pretty physical job that keeps you in good shape then for when you're not fighting.
It's actually not too backbreaking, too physical a job. I work as a wastewater operator for a casino, so it's more of a brain job. There's some physical stuff to it, like changing out pumps and motors and stuff. But for the most part, it's a lot of brains.
Well, hey, that's not necessarily bad for fighting either, because you got to be strategic and you got to think on your feet in the fight. So having a job that taxes you that way gets you prepared too. Yeah, and it helps. So I'm not wearing myself out during the work day. So I'm still able to go after work and go get a good training session in right after work. I'm not all burned out. Right, and actually that's the flip side of guys who train 9-to-5 full time. Is some of them, they get injured, they get burned out before the fight, and then they come in and they're completely flat. Yeah. Yeah. Well, it sounds like you got a healthy balance between the work life and the fight life, so it should be good. Yeah, I definitely got to balance it out. But what do you see as stylistically? I know you've said you think Shaman will want to stand on the feet, but what else do you see about Shaman that you think, like, there's a weakness I could exploit? I really haven't looked too much into him. I watched a little bit of his last fight, when he fought for the title. He looked a little flat-footed, a little stiff, and didn't really have a lot of movement. He was just looking for that one-punch knockout, and I feel like if that's the way he's going to be, I'm just going to pick him apart. Yeah, that certainly seemed to work for Marlon Moraes, because Shaman was chasing him the whole time, and Shaman was just, not able to land that big punch, and then Marlon would pick him apart with the counter shots. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But you got to think that, he's had some time off too between fights, so he's probably learned to not chase so much. You can't, just like Ronda Rousey will have to do when she faces Holly Holm again. She can't chase her all over the cage. No, yeah, you definitely don't want to chase him down and do that. Put yourself
in a vulnerable position, and you can see that happen to Ronda.
For example, Melvin Manouf said the biggest risk he takes in a fight is when he goes for a knockout punch, he has to put his hands down for that split second, and that's when you can get caught.
Yeah, that's all it takes, that split second.
I'm sure the guys in your camp are making sure that split second window is not going to be open for them. They'll have everything really tight.
Yeah, definitely working on staying tight and just staying composed and just working a lot of movement, not being so flat-footed.
It should be an excellent performance on December 18th at Chelsea at the Cosmopolitan in Las Vegas. A lot of big fights going on there in the next week. So what do you think about the fact that venue is like the home for UFC and World Series of Fighting and everybody else the next few days?
I think it's good. It's going to be a lot of excitement. a lot of things going on there. So I'm looking forward to it, going out there and just being part of that.
Anybody else from your camp got big fights that are going to be taking part of this upcoming just week of fights?
No, not this week. No. Just one of my good training partners, he just fought. Derek Anderson just fought for a Bellator with Patricky.
Right, Derek Barbaric Anderson.
He just had a big fight with him. Yeah.
Yeah.
So he won that fight. That was a big win for him.
Yeah, it seemed a little controversial with that third round because I thought he was ahead on points, but then I thought Patricky was landing some big shots, so that one could have gone either way. Yeah,
it was definitely a close fight and definitely battle. And that's why I say you can't leave it in the hands of the judges. And that's one thing I definitely do not want to do.
No, I'm sure
I'm looking to go out there and finish.
Right, yeah, you don't want to leave it up to those judges who might they see something different than we all saw in the third round and they give it to Shaman and then you're left there going, what?
Yeah.
But yeah, it seems like Derek has his number now because that's twice that he's gone to a decision and beaten him. So I don't know if Patricky wants to try for a third time. Maybe he just needs to move on.
Yeah, I think so. Let's move on and get on to the next one.
Big things happening for you and for Derek Anderson. I'm sure everybody else on your team as well. So, want to give them some shout outs or plug some sponsors? I want to give you that opportunity.
Yeah. I just want to thank, all my sponsors. I got a few, Mission Auto, and paint and body. I got, the Auto Shopper, Johnny Bear Art, got a few, or my gym, North County MMA and Ultimate Fitness, where I train at, Team Explode, Roof King, and just, all my supporters back home. So everybody who supports me in my fights, and just give a shout out to them back in my hometown, Escondido.
If there's any other sponsors that you weren't able to rattle off the top of your head, they'll be on the banner in the Decagon anyway, right?
Yeah, they will. They'll all be right there. And Bloodshot. I give them a shout out too. Cool. I do my shirts and stuff, so I'll have some walkout shirts for them. And, JTY Construction, big sponsor of mine.
Well, how about social media? If people want to keep up on problems with Robbie Peralta, what's the best way for them to do it outside of watching your fights?
You can follow me on, Twitter, on Twitter. My Twitter is Peralta MMA, or follow me on Instagram, Problems MMA, on Facebook, Robbie Peralta. So, keep track of me there.
Well, it sounds like there's plenty of different ways for people to keep up on you, but I'm going to say the number one way is to be watching NBC Sports on December 18th when you go up against Shaman Moraes.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
yeah, make sure everybody watches it out for that one.
Absolutely. It's going to probably open the card, so it'll be the first fight, and it'll get fans pumped up and excited. So I'm looking forward to it, and I want to thank you for the time today, and hope you have a great fight on December 18th.
All right. Thank you. Appreciate it.
No problem. Take care.
Bye-bye.